What I have to remind myself with a new divorce client. When someone begins a divorce or child custody case, they usually believe they know what they are fighting for, and they may be right. The house, the retirement accounts, parent time, child custody and support, alimony, these issues matter and they must be handled correctly. But there is something else happening underneath those legal questions that people rarely say out loud. Most clients are not just seeking a favorable court order, they are seeking peace, not abstract peace, something simpler and more human. They want to wake up without their stomach in knots. They want to stop replaying conversations at 3 in the morning. They want their children to feel stable and happy again. Here's the problem. Litigation has a way of narrowing vision. Once a case begins, attention shifts quickly to deadlines, motions, financial disclosures, discovery, hearings. Lawyers are trained to identify risk, leverage, and exposure, and that focus is necessary. But something subtle can happen along the way. The fight itself becomes the focus. Small tactical victories begin to feel like the goal. A strong email, a clever objection, a temporary ruling that moves the needle slightly. Meanwhile, the larger question fades into the background. What kind of life are you trying to build after this case ends? Peace and winning are not always the same thing. Sometimes peace requires fighting hard to establish boundaries. Sometimes it requires refusing to fight over something that simply is not worth the emotional or financial cost. Sometimes it requires letting go of the hope that the other person will finally admit that he or she was wrong. In high conflict cases, people can pursue vindication while believing they are pursuing peace. That confusion can prolong litigation, increase expenses, and leave both sides exhausted and even after a technical victory, feeling it was not worth the cost. So what does peace actually mean in a divorce or custody case? Usually it means structure, predictability, and financial stability. A parenting schedule that works in real life, fewer crises, less daily contact with someone who destabilizes you. In other words, peace is not a feeling, it is something built into the legal framework of your future life. That is why the beginning of a case matters so much. When you first meet with a lawyer, it is worth asking a few key questions that are more strategic than they might appear. 6 months from now, what outcome would make you feel this process turned out reasonably well? What 3 results matter most to you? What are you willing to let go? What would cost more emotionally than it is worth to pursue? Those are not sentimental questions, they are strategic ones. A successful divorce or custody case is not measured only by the language in a decree. It is measured by months later. Are your children more settled? Are your finances more predictable? Are you sleeping better? Before the machinery of litigation accelerates, it helps to remember what the destination actually is.